Oh, hello, and welcome to a unexpected Tabletop Impulse breaking news video. Apparently, we're getting a new Kill Team expansion in 2 weeks. It goes up for pre-order on Saturday, and it's called Critical Ops, and we know very little about it. So let's look at what we do know. So this just went up on the Games Workshop website just now, like 20 minutes ago, maybe. In their Sunday pre-order preview. So the cadence of the Games Workshop Wacom hype machine is that you find out on Sunday what you're going to be able to pre-order on Saturday, and then on Saturday you can pre-order it, and then a week later you can get it in your hands. So we've basically got a... You assume the review channels have this already, so we're now basically waiting a week to try and... Well, we poor schlubs try and scratch our brains and think what it could be, and then on the pre-order day we'll find out what it actually is. But I wasn't expecting a Kill Team release before the new year. Right, so I've got two quotes on here. The first one is from the website, and the second one is transcribed from the weird hype video they do, because both say slightly different things. The first one says, expand your Kill Team experience with a new deck of tactical ops cards that includes missions and map packs, allowing you to jump straight into balanced match play games with your friends. You can even spice things up with random draws and bidding structures to build your missions. And then in the video, it said, enhance your Kill Team experience with Critical Ops TAC Ops, and Mission Card Pack, which includes 44 cards with new missions, updated TAC Ops, and handy game reference tools that are ideal for both competitive play and pickup games, available for pre-order on Saturday. There's a lot to unpack there. I read it, right? I mean, this is just an example of how we see what we want. I read it and saw, and kind of my eye was drew to this, missions and map cards and match play. So my first thought was we were going to get what I've always advocated for, which is, fixed terrain layouts for like tournament play in the style of Into the Dark for open world. No idea if that's what we're getting, but that's one way potentially of reading what it's saying. And then I talked to Zimbad, and Zimbad is a great proponent of Tempest of War in 40k as being like the funnest way to play 40k, and he's all about fun and casual play in his mindset, despite being the stronger player, but what are you going to do? And so he was drawn to this thing, spice things up with random draws and bidding structures to build your missions. Now, how is that the same product? I totally get how it can say both of those things, but at the same time, it's very strange to me that that's in the same product. And then it says, enhance your Kill Team experience with Critical Ops TAC cards. So we're also getting new... Well, let's look at the next slide. So there's a lot to unpack. So we've got updated TAC Ops. Okay, so is this going to be the standard TAC Ops deck? Are they changing it? Right, so is the security deck going to change? This makes this, even if you don't care about the rest of it, it makes it a must-have, right? If they're changing the TAC Ops, are we going to have two different sets of TAC Ops to choose from? Or is it just going to be like erratas to the TAC Ops? Who knows? New missions that are new, and they talk about balanced match play games, so is this going to be effectively the tournament mission pack? And they also talk about they talk about both competitive play and pickup games explicitly. So it seems to me like it has two things in it. It seems like it has like the super balanced fulcrum of skill competitive tournament pack, 6 missions for that, or 8, or whatever they do. And then separately, it does look like they're going to have some kind of Tempest of War style random drawing and bidding and things popping up and bubbling over and going down at different times. And updates to the TAC Ops. And some game reference tools, which I guess will be a couple of cards with, all the common special rules printed on them. It's really interesting. We seem to be getting like a it seems to be like a competitive play thing and also like a casual match. Like that kind of pseudo format that's like, well, it's matched in the extent that it cares about balance and fairness, but it's sort of more casual. So like Tempest of War type stuff. You wouldn't call that narrative play. Calling that narrative play would be a fudge, right? But that kind of casual match thing. I'm in favour of all this stuff. Like any one of the, updated TAC Ops cards that was just an errata by itself would be kind of lame. But any one of those other two, like either a Tempest of War style deck or fixed competitive missions, those would be really cool things. The fact that they're kind of smashing this all together into one card pack is weird and makes you wonder what we're going to get. But, yeah, that's really all I've got to say on this video. I don't know whether to be excited. Obviously, I should be excited. It's a new release, but it's just such a... To announce it normally in the Sunday preview, like, you know what's coming, because they do hype things. Like, they say, oh, we've made this. Look, isn't this cool? Like, they preview it in a stream or in an earlier article. And then you don't hear about it for a bit, and then it pops up into a Sunday preview article, and you're like, oh, that's when that's coming out. Cool. It's pretty rare, actually, that they drop something in a Sunday preview article that you've never heard of before, and they just go, by the way, this is coming out in 2 weeks. You're like, what? What? So, yeah, cautiously optimistic, I guess. Is more formats going to be a good thing? There's always this thing where if they suddenly introduce like a Tempest of War style way of play, it's like, well, you might think it's really cool, but no one in the wider community cares about it. And if you want to go to events, you're playing this other format. I'd be more positive I knew what this was. Negative is because we basically have a vacuum. Like, we know, right, the sum total of everything in the public domain about this product is on this slide. And there's so little detail there about what this is that it's easy to dream up the worst possible thing that it could be. But yeah, I guess the point of this video is we're getting a thing. So, what do you think it is? Like, what's your take when you first read it? What do you assume it is? Is it exciting to you? My main emotion is kind of apprehension at this point. Just because if they made something cool, you'd expect them to do an article going, oh yeah, we've made this really cool thing and it's coming out soon, yo. But I tell you what's genuinely true and is sad. This is a card pack, and Games Workshop, historically, cannot keep card packs in stock to save their life, right? So, if this becomes something that everybody needs for events, like, forget missions for a second, right? If they've changed the TAC Ops, if they've changed, like, the core TAC Ops. I mean, it could be reprints of all of the TAC Ops that were in White Dwarf for different teams. I genuinely don't know. But if they've changed the core TAC Ops decks, now it could just be fixing printing errors because we know that. But then they did that with Into the Dark, didn't they? They fixed the printing error. But then the Into the Dark, is this just me? The Into the Dark TAC Ops cards are worse quality than the Octarius ones, barring the fact that there's one misprint in the Octarius stack-up cards. But maybe they've updated them. Maybe they've updated them so they're actually changed and everybody has to buy this, right? In which case it's going to go out of stock. So that's the TAC Ops. And then it looks... reading between the lines, it generally looks like there's two mission... I'm repeating myself, I know, I'm sorry. But it genuinely looks like there's two mission packs. Like a bleeding edge... tournament play mission pack and a casual match play pickup gaming mission pack. Because I guess they realised they wanted to have the set. I'm speculating too far on a product about which we know nothing. So yeah, obviously I'll cover this in detail when we have some information. If they do an article this week, I'll cover that. And then on Saturday, if the thing with little card packs like this is sometimes they don't even go out to review. Like, this is not going to be a hugely profitable item for Games Workshop because there's no plastic models in it. It's just a thing. It's printed, and printing's actually quite expensive. Like, It's long been said that the most expensive thing for Games Workshop to produce, in like a box of Space Marines, is the box, because their margins are squeezed on the packaging. So, yeah, what do you think? Give me your thoughts. Are you do you think it's going to be? Give me your thoughts on what you think it is, and then give me your verdict. Do you think it's going to be a must-have evolution of the game? Like everybody, like this is like season 2.5. Like everybody plays Critical Ops. Like it's a way of them updating the classic version of the game. Like this is what they've kind of done. Into the Dark, and Into the Dark had the maps and was an evolution, and then they've gone right. We're lessons learned when we made Into the Dark, and we're going to apply that retrospectively as like a patch to the classic mode, and so we're going to have these fixed map layouts. But then that'll get tiresome for the people that don't really care about super competitiveness. So then we're going to put this other thing in which is with bidding and randomness, so that both kind of groups of matched play gamers, but you've got kind of competitive matched and casual matched, have both got a thing. That's my best guess. I don't know. I'm going to order 2 packs of it, whatever it is. One for me and one for Mrs. Ti. But I mean, that's free money, I suppose. But it's just one of those, you can't afford to sleep on a card pack because they're going to get out of stock. There's going to be stock issues with this product. Like, I'm not saying I have to build FOMO or anxiety or hype, because I'm not paid for or in any way supported by Games Workshop. But it's just, you need to be aware. They don't say it's limited edition. They struggle with cards, right? Try and get yourself some Aeronautica pilot. They struggle. Or ask the Necromunda players about cards. They struggle with cards. Right. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think it's going to be. Subscribe to the channel. Like. Thumbs up. I was supposed to be working today. I've got flipping loads of school worky marketing things to do. And I'm making a video because Games Workshop just dropped something on us from absolutely out of nowhere, absolutely from orbit. Right, cheerio, like, subscribe, become a channel member if you're inspired to do so, and I will see you again at some point next week when I have a chance to make a YouTube video, or when Games Workshop drops some news that's just too exciting to ignore. Bye-bye, cheerio.